Hi, hello everyone. Hello, welcome to CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page. I'm your old friend Niu Honglin, joined by Tony Reed here in the studio.
Feels like it's been forever. Hello,
Exactly.
Honglin. I've missed
Hello.
you.
I've missed you too. And during the past few weeks, we've experienced me going for a business trip. We say 出差 in Chinese. 出差.
出差.
Yes, 出差 would be business trip. And also, we had live streams in Yuyuantan Park, designated to the Qingming Festival or Tomb Sweeping Day, which is a traditional Chinese holiday.
Did you burn any Joss paper?
Not really. I believe a good way to pay respect to your ancestor would be to do it in a green way. 绿色祭扫. We say love new vocabulary too.
Oh boy.
I don't believe in ease in. I believe in, jumping in or dive in. So
Okay.
you have that. And to our dear friends on Facebook, I see Molly Juris
Molly
here with
Juris
us.
is always
Molly,
there.
Hi, you're here. And also you started a Facebook group about food. I love that. And food in Chinese would be 食物.
食物.
食物. Yeah, that'll be food. So
What is 吃饭?
吃饭 is eat, like eat, because 饭 is meal. So
Okay.
吃饭 would be having meal.
Okay.
So you can have meal. Yeah, I think for 食物 it's like all different kinds of food are food, but meal is supposed to be a proper with different dishes, a proper meal.
Okay.
Anyway, Molly's with us, and we have Alex Gui or Gugu. I'm not really sure. Let me know. Alex is watching. Alex is also our top fan. Thank you so much for being the top fan. And we have Verma. Hello. Sarah, Joe, Kalisa, and Miao An. Maybe that's your name. Please let me know if I'm making it wrong. Please don't be mad, but let me know. And you're saying pretty girl. Oh, thank you. And we have Sofana saying 你好老师. That's a great.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, use more Chinese as we're learning it. Practice makes perfect, isn't it? Molly said thanks. That's right. Join us. Food talk. Yes, food talk. So food, 食物, talk or speaks. It's more like food can relate people. And greetings from Serbia. That's from Danilo Blatovic. Hello to you. And we also have Siham and Bojan, Alex. We have a lot of Alex. You guys should be friends, know each other, get to know each other on this platform. It's also great to know each other while you're speaking Chinese. You can learn Chinese, practice with each other. And for today, we are actually going to talk about how to say thank you in Chinese, and a lot of ancient expressions. They can be a little bit challenging, but I think more importantly, it'll be fun
Yeah.
for you guys to understand what do Chinese people feel about people who have helped you. How do you treat them? How do you return the favor? And how do you respond to saying thank you? And also today's setting is much more, in a working environment.
And some of these expressions were used a long time ago, but they're also being used today as well, right?
Yes, totally.
So they're not like obsolete terms.
No. They are still used today, but they are considered really sophisticated. Sometimes you use them in articles when you're writing. Sometimes you use them if you really want to be very official, like dealing with your in-laws the first time. You want to be very official, very respectful. You can use all these terms.
How about for sarcasm?
For sarcasm as well, you can always be sarcastic in Chinese as long as you use the right tone. So again, let's dive in and try to learn some more interesting way to say thank you on top of 谢谢. So let's get started. 你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm your host Niu Honglin, joined by the handsome and hilarious Mr. Tony Reed. Hi, Tony.
Oh, well, hello. I'm handsome today. Wow, that's very kind.
I haven't seen you for a while. I have to throw you a bone or something. But you are handsome, so I'm not lying. So it's, a win-win situation.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. And apparently, you're very pretty. A lot of the listeners comment on that as well.
Oh, 谢谢. And 谢谢 is actually the theme of today. So if
谢谢.
you are interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grips with the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes a day and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, CRI Learn Chinese, a page that you can also check us out there by videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway.
Chinese 101, a promise beyond the basics.
谢谢您长期支持我们的业务。您太客气了，我们是互惠互利。为了答谢您的信任，我们决定升级您的会员等级。非常感谢。
So here sounds like a conversation at maybe at work where you're really thanking people and your colleagues or maybe your superiors and you're trying to sound very, as you say, official and genuine,
Very,
right?
very close. This is a conversation that will happen in a working environment. But there is a key word in the conversation that is 会员. 会员 actually means membership. So 会员
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 坏人 sounds
坏人
it's
is
a
bad
bad person, right? Okay.
会员
会员
Exactly. So 会员 would be member. So since we're talking about your membership, actually the relationship between those two should be a client and the person who's dealing with his business. So for the first sentence, 谢谢您长期支持我们的业务。
谢谢 that's clearly thank you. 您 here, that's you. A polite way to say you, right?
Yes.
Because of the N at the end. And Changqi, this is
长期
like long term,
Yes.
right? So, 支持, this is support.
Support 支持
So far it's thank you for your long term support. 我们 that's we, right?
our.
Or our, right. And then 我们的
Oh, excuse me. You are right. We should be, well, 我们 is we or us, and 我们的 would be our.
our, right? And then 业务
业务
is this a business?
business.
Business.
业务 is a very interesting word because 业务 can be our business, as in thank you for choosing our business would be thank you for choosing our product or our service, a company's business. And 业务 can also be used in a scenario as we say 业务能力 in Chinese. 业务能力能力
能力
is ability or capability. So 业务能力 actually means professional ability. So 业务 actually refers to a general idea of the stuff, of the concept, of the things you do on your job.
Okay.
So if you're a company, the things you do on your job would be like, in English you say business. So the service or product you provide. And as a person, the things you do on your job would be your professional skill, your skill set, the results you deliver on the job. So that's 业务.
业务 What if I want to say thank you for your hard work? Let me try, okay? So 谢谢您 or 你的努力
谢谢你的努力. That's totally right.
That'll work.
Oh, yeah, it works. It works perfectly. I'm so proud
right.
of you. Yes. So you can actually add a full sentence about the things you're going to thank the other person after 谢谢 or 谢谢您的. So thank you for your something. So here, 谢谢您, we know is thank you. 长期支持我们的业务，长期 long term 支持 support 我们的业务 our business. Thank you for supporting our business for a really long time. And in your case, 谢谢您的努力. Thank you for working really hard.
Now I also heard 努力工作
努力工作
So which one? So I guess can you break that down a little bit? Like 努力 and then 工作 is work.
Yes.
So
努力 is hardworking
Okay.
or arduous. Well, arduous is a little bit negative.
diligence, huh?
Yeah, diligence. Diligence is a great word. And also here, if you want to thank someone's something, you say 谢谢您的. So you being hardworking Your diligence is your diligence. So you say 您的努力. But if you want to say thank you for working hard, you drop the 的, you say 谢谢您努力工作.
Oh,
That's how you do it.
got it.
And then part B said 您太客气了，我们是互惠互利.
So 您太客气了. So 客气了 is like politeness, right? So 您太, so you're very polite. So I guess that's another way of saying don't mention it.
Don't mention it because we know 客 is guest. And 气 actually in Chinese, you know the 气 in 气功.
Yes.
So 气 actually can stands for a kind of
Energy.
It can mean a certain atmosphere, the vibe, you're emerging, you're emitting,
yes. Your
So,
aura.
your aura. So actually, if you are giving a vibe that you're a guest and that is why you're being too polite, then I'll be offended because I treat you as my friend. You don't have to be feeling like a guest. You don't have to be too polite. That's like the underlying meaning of this word. So you remember 客 is guest.
Yeah.
气 is the aura, the vibe, the atmosphere.
Guest aura la.
And if you have a guest aura, you shouldn't be. And that is why I say you're being too polite. You're sending out this guest vibe that I don't think you should have. You don't have to. So I say 您太客气了. You're very welcome. 我们是互惠互利.
Okay, so woman is we, right? Here is we.
Here is we.
是 is 互惠互利. It's a really difficult word to say 3 times.
Let's do it again. 互惠互利.
互惠互利.
Exactly. So 互 stands for 相互. 相互 would mean mutual. And 惠, both 惠 and 利 means benefit.
Also mutual benefit.
Mutual benefit. So it's saying that, yes, of course, I'm taking your business, but it's not because I am doing you a favor, but because I like your business. We are mutually beneficial. We are helping each
We're
other.
helping each other, so
Yeah.
don't be so kind, or don't
Exactly.
be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. So 您太客气了，我们是互惠互利. And then here part A said, 为了答谢您的信任，我们决定升级您的会员等级.
So,为了 it's like for, right?
For or in order to.
答谢 so you're 答谢 here.
答谢 is also thank you.
So for also 您的 is your 信任, so trust. So for your trust, right? Or in return for your trust.
In return for your trust.
Okay. 我们决定 So 决定 here is decide,
Yes.
right? And this is in the verb format.
决定 can be
a
seen as a verb,
verb
or
or
a
noun.
noun.
Okay. So 我们决定, so we decide 升级. So this is upgrade in the verb, right?
Yes. 升级 upgrade.
Okay. 您的 your 会员, and this is membership.
Membership.
Right? And then 等级.
等级.
等级, wait, don't tell me. This is like level.
Level.
Right? Which brings a question. So
Yes.
in English, we can just say we decided to upgrade your membership. So we can just say 我们决定升级您的会员 and then stop. But we need to say in Chinese, we need to say 等级, right?
You don't need to say 等级. You can say 等级. Actually, in Chinese, you can omit 等级 as well.
Oh, so you understand what I'm saying? If I
Totally.
just, huh. Okay.
So, actually, for today's conversation, I believe the sentences are not very complicated. The grammar behind it is very straightforward, and actually, it feels there's a lot of resemblance between the Chinese and English sentence in this conversation. So the tricky part would be the vocabulary. And these vocabulary are very often seen in business setting, in working environment. And that is why we feel the need to include them in our episodes. So 答谢 is a very official way of saying thank you, but it's more like in 答谢 is like express my thanks to you. We often say 答谢 something. You can't really use it individually in itself. You have to add something. You have to 答谢 something. And most of the times, 答谢 is used when you're talking about thanking your client.
Okay.
And 信任 is trust. And there is another word, 相信.相信
相信
would be believe. So if I say I believe you, is 我相信你.
我相信你 Okay.
If I want to say I believe in you or I trust you, that'll be 我信任你.
我信任你
Yes, 我信任你. So that's the first half of the sentence. Then we have 我们决定, we decided, 升级 upgrade, 您的 yours, 会员等级 or just 会员 membership. So here 升级 is also very useful. You can 升级 a lot of things. Sometimes you
升级
say
a lot.
exactly, you can 升级 your 套餐. 套餐 would be the combo or service you're choosing.
Can I try one?
Yeah.
So 我要升级我的座位
座位.
Can I do this?
You can do that. You can do that in like for airplane.
Right.
Or for
That's what I was hoping to say.
yeah, or for train, especially for high-speed rail, 高铁 in China, you can 升级你的座位.
Okay.
People would totally understand.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, so 升级 upgrade. You can upgrade a lot of things. 升级很多东西 upgrade a lot
And
of
what
things.
about 决定? Like if I want to say 你的决定什么? Can I say that? Like what do you decide or what is your decision?
You have to say 你的决定是什么.
是什么?
Because here you're actually treating 决定 as a noun.
Oh, yeah, that's
What
right.
is your decision?
What's your decision? And how would you say, what did you decide?
You say 你决定了什么?
Okay.
Because actually, if it's what you have decided,
Then you have la.
you
for
have
the
la
past tense, right?
suggesting this decision has been made. This action has been finished.
Okay, I
So
understand.
you ask 你决定了什么 or 你的决定是什么?
好的.
And then we have the, rather simple one, 非常感谢.
You know, 非常感谢, I use this a lot. And every time I use this, I get some interesting smiles from everyone that I say this to. When I say 谢谢, people just nod or, yeah, okay. But when I say 非常感谢, which means thank you very much, right? I think maybe it has a very deep, or maybe it's more than just thanks. It's a very, very grateful thank you, maybe?
Yes, thank you very much is 非常感谢. However, I think this, let's say, interesting smile is not only because you've chosen a word that expresses deep thanks, but also because this shows that you got a very decent level of Chinese and people appreciate that. Let's
Well, I
say
can fool people really well.
let's say I met you for the first time and I'm not speaking perfect English and we're shaking hands. Instead of saying how are you or how'd you do, I said enchanté. You would give me a strange and interesting smile because you think, that's interesting.
Is that English? I think that's French, isn't it?
Exactly. So it's kind of like being a little bit too sophisticated. But 非常感谢 is definitely very useful and it's not strange at all. It's very
Okay.
useful. It's very daily.
I'll continue to use it then.
Yes. So do you have any other questions?
Well, I would like to try and use. So I'm going to try to throw a question at you from one of the vocabulary words. 你的长期目标是什么?
That's perfect.
So
What's your
not-
long-term goal?
Yes, did that work?
It totally works, and
Alright,
it's a
good.
great sentence. 你的 yours 长期目标 long-term aim, long-term goal, long-term dream even 是什么 is what. 目标 here is target. Or if you say, I'm aiming for something, that will also be 我的目标是 my target is, my goal is. So 目标你的长期目标是什么 What is your long-term goal? Great
And we
sentence.
say sure because of the noun, right? And
Yes.
Here the noun is 目标.
目标. Totally. That's great.
Okay.
So do you think we can try the conversation now?
Yeah, if I'm the second,
You're going to be the second one. Let
Okay.
me be the first and
Okay.
pronounce all the vocabulary perfectly.
okay, go ahead.
谢谢您长期支持我们的业务。
您太客气了，我们是互惠互利。
为了答谢您的信任，我们决定升级您的会员等级。
哇，非常感谢。
Thank you. That's great. You are listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about different expressions to show your gratitude and different ways to respond to the word thank you. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. All right, guys, that's the first half of today's Takeaway Chinese. We tried to explain the conversation, really break them down, different vocabulary. So if you guys have any questions, this would be a good time to raise them because we're going to answer questions in this break. And if you didn't get a chance to ask the questions now, don't worry. After the recording of the show, we will again go through all your comments and talk about the questions you have and the comment you have. And let's see who's with us. You guys are very, very friendly. Thank you guys so much. We have Thun Tan saying 你们好, and the 门 the character in the middle is actually door. You should add a person on the left side of the door to make the 门 talking about you guys and instead of just you. So 你们好.
Oh, so
Hello
the-
to you too.
The mun was different.
But the pronunciation's the same. So
okay.
honest mistake. And we have Shahid saying 谢谢. No, thank you. 谢谢. And here you can, learn from Tony and say 非常感谢. You don't have to thank us that much. It's just a good, useful expression.
And putting the ni at the end, I guess, is that a little more like I hear 谢谢 and I hear 谢谢你.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. We are experiencing a technical glitch. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Sorry to interrupt. We are experiencing a technical glitch. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. We were, fiercely discussing about different ways to say thank you, but we were experiencing some technical problems. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. Actually, in this case, when there is a, technological glitch, we try to give you a little bit of quiz. You can guess which word is the correct word. You can learn a little bit Chinese even when there's a problem. Isn't that amazing?
Very amazing.
Yes. So back to our previous comment. We have a lot of friends saying thank you, saying 谢谢 or 谢谢您 from Biana. And 谢谢您 would be thank you, and 您 is the respectful one. So 谢谢 and 谢谢你 or 谢谢您, there's no really significant difference.
Really? But does the receiver feel a little bit better when you say nin as opposed to ni?
If you have to, you can say there is a tiny, tiny sense of intimacy in 您 or 你.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely you can use them all. And also we have friend's name that I cannot pronounce with a very beautiful profile photo with water in it, I guess. Say 下午好, good afternoon. Sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. I don't know your language. Looks like a very complicated language. I'm pretty sure you're going to be good in Chinese. And, this is a nice one. Shahid is saying 您好, 帅哥. Hello, handsome.
帅哥.
Yeah, that's talking to you, definitely.
Really?
See, handsome and hilarious. I'm not lying.
Oh, so 帅哥 means it
Handsome.
has two meanings.
帅哥 means handsome.
And you said hilarious?
No, that's just me.
Oh, okay.
And 梅丽莎 saying 你好, 你好 to you too. And Alois Wasaga saying 你好. And Shahid saying 会员. Yes, 会员 would be
Membership.
Good, you're learning. I'm very glad.
At first I thought bad person, 坏人. But I was like, wait a minute, no, that's...
会员. And we have big, like, congrats. Not really sure what that means. Let me know what you mean. Xmas. Or maybe you're talking about Christmas. I'm not really sure. And saying hi to Miles. And Shahid saying 支持, that's support. And Malinap and Molly Jura saying those are big words for me too. Yes. Well, as in... I'm not really sure they're big words, but they are quite official and they are totally used in a business setting. So I thought it might be useful for you guys if you want to ever do business in China or you want to cooperate with Chinese companies and need to communicate with them. It'll come in handy to know some, rather sophisticated words. So hopefully you remember at least 2 or 3 just to enlarge your vocabulary.
升级 and 会员, I think those are pretty big.
Yeah, upgrade and membership.谢谢 means thank you. Yes, 谢谢 is thank you, as well as 非常感谢, thank you very much. 谢谢你的努力. Totally, Shahid, you're killing it. Yes, 谢谢你的努力. Thank you for your hard working. Or thank you for your diligence. 工作, work. And reply is, so Alois asking how to reply to 谢谢, thank you. Here in the conversation, the very common way is 您太客气了. You're being too
You're
polite.
too nice.
Too nice. 太客气了. But you can also say 没关系.
No, don't worry about it. Or, yeah, 没关系, it's okay.
Or 没事儿.
That one's it's okay.
Yes,
Right?
没 is no, or there is not something, and 事 is matter. So it's not a huge deal. So we also have 侨色 saying, what is the Mandarin term for, that is the huge, really long word that I don't know how to pronounce. Do you remember the word from a movie that is the longest word in the world?
No.
I have no idea what that
Is
is.
it a Chinese word?
No, it's an English word. I don't remember which movie is it from.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Thank you. What does it mean?
It's just from a Disney classic called Mary Poppins, and
That's what I thought as
there was
well.
a song about it, but
Is there a meaning?
I just think it means I don't really know, honestly. I mean, I grew up singing that song, but it just means something that's really great and makes you feel good, and so I'm not sure if there's a Chinese equivalent.
So, dude, if you're trying to find a made-up word and ask me to find another, Chinese made-up equivalent, I can totally do that. We Chinese is a language that is based on characters. So the smallest unit would be a character, and it's really easy to just create a make-up word. We can just add in really a lot of characters and put them together and make it a word. However, if you're really asking, is there a huge word for something fantastic? I can look it up for you and try to find some Chinese idiom, some really fancy ones. So let me know which one are you. If you're making a joke, you're making everyone laughing already. So
There was a lot of-
consider it done.
I think on that same note or that same song, there were a few other sounds that had no meaning
No
to them
meaning.
either.
Yep, that's the purpose. That's and we have a Chinese song called 生僻字.
生僻字.
生僻字, that's like the characters that are no longer in use, that are too strange even for common Chinese people. And in that song, actually, the singer tried to include a lot of idioms with very strange characters in it. I can look it up for you guys if you want, just for fun. And we have Garan asking how to say I love you. I love you. That's an easy one.
我爱你.
我爱你. And we have a video telling you how to say it and in what kind of, well, you guys know in what kind of circumstances, just how to pronounce it correctly. So check out the video in the Facebook page, CRI Learn Chinese. And 中巴有一万岁 from Shahid. See, we see this a lot. 中巴有一万岁. China and Pakistan share a long friendship. What are the reply would be the reply for thank you. And on top of 不客气, so don't
Oh,
be
you're
too,
welcome.
You're welcome. Don't be too polite. We have some other ones. We'll talk about it later. And 互惠互利是一个成语吗? From Stan Bryce. Well, 互惠互利 is, there are a lot of Chinese idioms and Chinese four-character words. Some of them have a really long history and, background story and is originated from like hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. But there are also some Chinese idioms that are, commonly used, and they are still considered 成语, just not that, let's say, cultural. They're not that cultural. And I believe 互惠互利 is considered a 成语. It's just not the kind of 成语 that has a huge, really long history. 互惠互利, mutually benefit. I can't read Chinese, write on English.
I can't
really know what that means.
I can't understand Chinese. What?
I can't read Chinese, write on English.
Write on English.
I'm not really sure if you're talking about the pinyin, spelling out in letters, or let us know. Specify your question a little bit and let's see if we can help you.
Yeah, I do really well with pinyin, but yeah, the characters I'm still struggling.
No worries. Start with pinyin, start with talking. Gradually, the language grows on you. And what's forever in Chinese from Mei Li Sha? Forever in Chinese would be 永远.
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 Yuan is park, right?
远 is park. 远 is far. So 永 is 永恒, it's like eternity, and 远 is far, forever. So 永远 actually carries a little bit of meaning of it's really far away.
An eternity away.
It's like both in time and space, it's far.
So infinity.
Yes. 永远. And Will, hello.
Is there a slang like for thank you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like you mentioned that there's some words that are, I guess, are not very old, and some new words that come up. But is there I guess you could say a slang term for thanks?
I am not that young. I really cannot answer that question because online, when it's pop culture, when really young people talking about, their stuff, including you're loving their idols or, some online games, I'm pretty sure there are different kind of slangs, but I really don't know a lot to answer that question. So let's see if there's any. Oh, Shahid saying 我在中国生活了12年. I've been living in China for 12
2 years.
12 years.
years.
12年. That's a long time. You're an old friend here. I need to use my phone in Chinese. Yes, that's a good trick. So if you use your phone, if you make the system language, the setting language as Chinese,
I would imagine that would be a good trick to learn the characters.
that totally would be a good trick. And 我没有听到 or 听 I'm not really sure.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, I would assume that. So if you're talking about I didn't hear, please let me know. And we have a friend, Remo, saying hi, hello to you too. And Stan Bryce is asking, 互相和相互有什么区别?
I heard membership or mutual benefit.
On top of my head, I don't think there is a huge difference. But I will look it up, and if there's any, I will give you the answer, a more detailed one with example sentences in some other live streams. So, stay tuned. Not only on this live stream, but also on CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page. Oh, Jane is saying 他真是帅哥. He's really handsome. Say thank you to Jane in Chinese.
Where? Who?
Jane saying 他真是帅哥. That's very nice. A question from school that the longest word was, see, you give me another strange word and it's a real one and I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna ignore that. But I'm not ignoring you, Jane, just the super long word. And Jane is saying, in Chinese, difference between fringe and freezer. In Chinese, difference between a cold and a flu. Things I've seen seem to call both flu and cold 感冒. That's a really good question. I'm writing it down and I give you a more comprehensive answer in the next live stream. I can say we sometimes call flu 流感, 流行性感冒, meaning that you can actually give your flu to others.
Oh, it's contagious.
Contagious, yes. And one last two, let's say, comment from Stan Bryce saying, hey guys, I've got a good tip to learn Chinese for you. If you want to improve your 口语 speaking, date a Chinese girl. It's just a joke. Thank you for adding that as a joke.
That's no joke.
But you can totally have Chinese friends and they will help you with your Chinese, and maybe some of them will ask you to help their English. But friends, it's all about 互惠互利, isn't it?
I've heard this advice many times in my travels to different places, and I feel like it's helpful, but it's easier to have friends, because friends you can kind of just focus on the language.
Learning.
But sometimes when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, there's one dominant language that presides over the other.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's totally true.
If the other person knows how to speak, English, for example, in my case, then you mainly just speak English.
Guys, you're listening. Listen to Tony. Listen to the wise and handsome guy. So make some Chinese friends, preferably on Learn Chinese, CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page. So guys, we'll continue the recording, and after the recording, we'll answer more of your questions. So continue to leave a comment and let's see what's some other ways to say thank you.
Language tips. All you need to learn about Chinese culture and have fun.
Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yo Honglin, joined by Tony Reed. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Yonglin.
So, do you know some other ways, any other ways of saying thank you in Chinese?
Besides 谢谢 or 非常感谢 or I guess there's a lot of different expressions. 小小心意.
A very funny one. 小小心意不成敬意还望笑纳. Are you talking about this one?
Yeah, it's really long though, so I can't remember it all.
It's really long and it's used in very, very official, very business kind of environment or setting. Because 小小心意, we know 心意 is like a meaning from my heart. So 心意 is kind of like a gesture from my heart. So it's a gesture I'm making. 小小 is just, this is just a small gesture. Small gesture. 不成敬意 means it's not enough to express my gratitude to you or my respect to you. And that is why I hope you can accept it. 海望笑纳.
Sounds like a wordsmith, like you're trying to win someone over.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're giving someone a gift, but you're trying to say this is just a small gift. It's nothing serious. You don't have
This
to.
is a small token of my appreciation.
Exactly. That's a great translation. A small token of my appreciation so you can accept it without feeling that you owe me anything, without feeling it's a burden. It's not. It's supposed to be something small and something I'm making a gesture with. So it'll be 小小心意不成敬意还望笑纳. Actually, even though the person is saying that it's just something small, it's a small token, it's not necessarily has to be something really tiny or, inexpensive. It can be something a little bit, serious if you want.
Could be a ring,
It actually could. But you still want to use will you marry me to go with the ring instead of, this is a small gesture. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that Chinese people are very humble in a lot of occasions, especially ancient Chinese people. They are very humble. They like to sometimes make things insignificant on their side and make things a lot more significant in the opposite side's side. It's our way of showing respect.
And humbleness.
So 小小心意不成敬意还望笑纳. The same logic goes with if someone give you a favor. Chinese people are very, let's say we like to keep the favor in our mind forever. As for the people who have helped us, who have lend a helping hand, we like to remember it forever. And that is why sometimes we say 你对我 you to me 恩重如山.
This is your favor is like a mountain?
Yes, it's as heavy as a mountain. 恩重如山.
So this makes the other person feel like this person is working really hard for you.
Or you can say 恩深似海.
It's like deep, like the ocean.
As deep as the ocean. So if you think about it, you've done me a favor and I really appreciate it. I'm comparing it to the weight in my heart, your favor. The weight of your favor in my heart is as huge as a mountain. And I have feelings as deep as the sea. So I
guess I took that differently. I thought doing a favor for you is as heavy as a mountain.
No. It's not about the favor itself. It's about how I view it. It's about how I see the favor. So maybe to you, it's just a small thing you did for me, but to me, it's a great deal and I appreciate it. I remember it and I will repay it with all I have when you need me to. And that is why we also have the expression 滴水之恩当涌泉相报.
This is like a drop of water. I can't get the 涌泉相报.
涌泉相报. This can, this sentence actually means if you done a favor like as small as a drop of water, I will repay it with the amount of water that is from a, surging spring, from a fountain.
Okay. So you give me a little, I'll give you a lot.
Exactly. It can mean even if it was just a little help from others, you should return the favor with all you can when others are in need. This
sounds like a really good rule of thumb. I mean, if you give a lot, you'll receive. It sounds like a very well-known proverb. I mean, it seems like it's a bit hard for people to honor, but this is I think it's really good.
It actually is. And when I was a little kid, my parents always say things to me that 滴水之恩当涌泉相报. If a person has done a favor for you, you should always remember and always seek the opportunity to repay with all you have. Because even though maybe they were just giving you a helping hand, maybe it was not supposed to be a huge deal for them, it's not the reason for you to diminish it. They still did you a huge favor when you're in need. And that is why you need to always be humble, always respect the favor, and always remember it, and always repay with all you can when they're in need.
Yeah, I guess it has a similar feeling as be kind to the people as you are moving up, because you have to face those people when you go back down.
Oh, yeah, that is a little bit like that as well. A little bit. It's, respecting others.
Yeah, respecting others.
Yes. So, from all these proverbs or idioms, I think you can get the gesture about what kind of significance we put on showing our gratitude, on making sure that if someone have helped us, we'll always remember it. And we also have proverbs like 谁言寸承蒙厚爱不胜感激. 承蒙厚爱 is like
Thank you very much for your kindness.
for your kindness.
感激 is
感激, I can't thank you more. That's exactly, I cannot thank you more. So a little reveal. 小小心意不成敬意还望笑纳.
a little gift or a small token of my appreciation for you, right?
恩重如山，恩深似海.
Your favor weighs like a mountain in my heart or something, right?
Yes. And 滴水之恩当涌泉相报.
Also about favor, right? So like if your favor runs like deep as the sea or deep as the ocean.
The 恩深似海 part. 滴水之恩, 水 is water.
水 is water. Right.
So 滴水之恩当涌泉相报.
So this one is a drop of water or a small favor that like a drop of water will be repaid with like a surging fountain.
Yes.
So yeah, you give me something small, I'll return it with interest.
Yes. Oh, with interest. That's a very Western way of seeing it.
I know, right?
But I know what you mean. And the last one I like to share with you guys is about the gratitude you should have with your parents. Because in Chinese, it's a very big deal about respecting your parents, not only because they gave you life, the biggest gift one can ever give another person, but also because, when parents are rearing a child, giving the child the education, on top of the food and care and love and everything, we value that a lot, and we believe you can never repay the kindness and also the so-called favor your parents have done to you. And that is why we have a very famous Chinese saying, which is also a quote from a poem, 水淹寸草心，报得三春晖.
What does that mean exactly? Shui is water, right?
水 is who in this case.
Who in this case. Okay.
And if you want to know what does 水淹寸草心，报得三春晖 mean, we actually have a video showing what that sentence is, where that sentence is from, and what does it mean. So let's watch the video.
慈母手中线，游子身上衣。临行密密缝，意恐迟迟归。水淹寸草心，报得三春晖。唐代诗人孟郊的这首《游子吟》，生动表达了中国人深厚的家庭情结。
Song of the Parting Sun, 游子吟, is one of the most famous classical Chinese poems. Chinese President Xi Jinping quoted this poem in his Spring Festival greetings in February of 2015 to stress the importance of family ties. Meng Jiao wrote the poem when he was 50 years old. After years of separation, he was reunited with his elderly mother, and they reminisced about the moment when he was preparing to leave home. The poem depicts a mother's love for her son, as well as the son's gratitude towards his mother. The meaning of the first 4 verses is pretty clear. They talk about Meng Jiao's mother with needle and thread in hand, stitching warm clothes for her son who is going away. The last two verses of the poem, 水眼寸草心, 报得三春晖, are a popular expression used to describe motherly love. They're different from the first four verses because Meng Jiao switches from describing a scene to using a metaphor to make his point. 水眼 tells the reader that this is a rhetorical question. 寸草心 means the heart of sprouting grass. 报得 means to repay, and 三春晖 means 3 years of spring sunshine. Taken together, it means how can the tiny sprouting grass ever thank the sun for the light and warmth that it needed to grow? By this, Meng Jiao is posing the question, how could a child possibly repay their mother for the warm love that she gave them when they were growing up? The poem is a reminder of the importance of maintaining a sense of gratitude for the contribution of your parents to your life. Let's read it together.
游子吟，唐·孟郊。慈母手中线，游子。Meng Jiao, translated by Xu Yuanchong. The thread in mother's hand, a gown for the parting sun. Sewn stitch by stitch, alas, for fear of cold he'll stand. Such kindness of warm sun can't be repaid by grass.
Alright guys, that's all about 水眼寸草心，报得三春晖. So here, this poet is trying to make a metaphor, saying like children are like the little grass shoots trying to grow up, and parents are like the sun, giving them sunshine, giving them all the love they need. And no matter how hard the grass try, it can never really repay the dedication, the love from the sun.
It's a beautiful, it almost sounds like a poem.
It is a poem. Anyhow, that's a little bit complicated way of saying thank you. And however, I still think it's very nice to, even though they can be a little bit challenging and hard to remember all of them at one time, I still think it's important for you guys to understand what's the mentality here, that the culture, the way of thinking of Chinese people can be very, very important when you're learning Chinese. So enough about how to say thank you. Let's talk a little bit more about how to reply. So we have 不客气.
This is the one I hear quite a bit. Like, you're welcome.
You're
right?
welcome. It's also in the conversation today. It's the same idea.
Like, you're too polite.
You're too polite.
Right? Or no polite, right? Boo means no.
No, too much polite.
Yeah.
And also another very easy one would be 不用谢.
不用谢. This is my pleasure.
Or no need to say thank you. 不用 is no need.
不用, right? I
Yes.
don't need it.
No need to say thank you would be 不用谢. And you can also say no problem. How to say no problem in Chinese?
问题 is problem, right? So 没问题.
没问题.
No problem.
And another one, I think it's a bit complicated, but also be useful, is 随时乐意帮忙.
This one is say it one more time.
随时乐意帮忙.
帮忙. So anytime?
Anytime. So 随时 is anytime. 乐意 is I'm happy to. 帮忙 is help. So it's kind of like it's my pleasure to help, or I can help you anytime, or just, anytime.
So mang bang or just bang can be help.
帮忙,
Oh, you have to say it
帮忙.
together.
Say it together in that order. 帮忙.
But I also hear people say, 你能帮我吗? Like I
Yes.
learned this in some book, to speak
know?
Chinese.
That's because 帮 is like the verb kind of character in the word, and 忙 is the noun kind of character in the word.
Got it.
So if you want to say 你能帮我吗? Can you help me? You actually only need to use the verb kind of character.
Okay.
But if you're talking about 乐意帮忙, I'm happy to give you a helping hand, you need both the verb kind of character and the noun kind of character to make it a full word.
好的。
随时乐意帮忙. That's how you do it. So that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin. Join me today in the studio, Mr. Tony Reed.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you here as always. And at the end of today's episode, let's see what are some other questions or comments that we have from our dear friends on Facebook. We've already talked about Jane's question, asking about differences between a lot of different words, and I will try to get back to them next time, I promise. And Stan talked about having a Chinese girlfriend, and we saying it might not be the best idea from all different kinds of angle. And yeah, I know it's a joke, but try to have more Chinese friends. That will be easier. And Mei Li Sha is I'm talking about the technical era. Earlier, I can't hear you guys, but now I can. Great. You guys can hear us correctly. I am sorry about the technical glitch. They happen a little bit, more for today, but we still try to give you some quiz during the technical issue. So hopefully you've learned something there too. And Brandon saying, thank you for sharing. No, thank you for being with us on this live stream, during the live stream. Stan said, yep, it's definitely 互惠互利. We have language corner here. 互惠互利. That's
mutual benefit, right?
yes. Oh, yeah, Jane gave me the longest word, anti-establishmentarianism. Wow.
Anti-disciplinaryism?
That's actually the longest word in English, according to Jane. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. 非常感谢. Stan said, 小小心意不成敬意，还望笑纳. This is my first time listening to this. I'm learning a lot with you guys. Yes, this, I think it's because this is used in a, again, very official setting. And nowadays, maybe only in business environment. We don't really say it to friends. And it's a little bit too much of a big word to say to your, let's say, guard in the building if you want to give them a little gift. You really don't have to use this. Just use it in very official scenario.
But you can also say 非常感谢 to, for example, like taxi drivers. I say that and they always respond like they laugh and they say 不客气.
See, that's nice. Say 非常感谢. That's good enough. And we have Just Winder saying very good. I'm very glad. Stan said, 我唯一一直知道的感谢表达方式就是要么谢谢，要么非常感谢. Now, thanks to you, I've enriched my vocabulary. Thank you for saying that. And your Chinese level is really, 你的中文等级很高呢。
很高。
很高. So 等级 would be level. I used that word on purpose, but actually, if it's 中文, like Chinese level, you should say 中文水平. But since 等级 is, the vocabulary of today,
so why not?
Why not?
很高. 很 is very and 高 is high.
Very high, yes. 这个 program is 非常缘分. Sam? Rajit? I feel like you're saying, I know this program, it's fate that I know this, but let me know what is 缘分 here, the pinyin is about, because to me it's the word destiny. 缘分 would be destiny. So maybe that's not what you're saying. Let me know what you're saying. 不用谢，不客气，没问题，随时乐意帮忙. See, Stan's Chinese is great. And 也可以说没什么. That's true. You can also say 没什么, not a big deal. 没什么.
没什么.
And that's basically the questions we have for today. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We've learned some complicated way to say thank you. We've learned some easy and very useful, necessary expressions to respond to thank you. And hopefully after today's session, you guys would feel that your vocabulary in this regard is enough to help you go around China.
And I love the responses because when I hear them, it helps me with my Chinese as well.
Yes. And one last thing I'd like to say at the end of today's episode is a special thanks to our dear friends Wilson So. Wilson So is a friend from the Easy FM app, which is a great app that you can find us there. You can find Takeaway Chinese as well as Illuminating Chinese Classics, which is a podcast that Cara and I are doing currently. It's about 三字经, 3 character classics. It's an ancient Chinese children's textbook, but it's kind of like a Chinese version of a comprehensive history, record of Chinese history and culture and literature, a little bit of introduction of everything. So it can be very much fun. And Wilson So is a friend on Easy FM app. I didn't really know there was this donating function on that app. So if you like the hosts of a show, you can actually donate money to the app and to us. And Wilson So has been doing this like for nearly half a year with significant amount of money, I would like to put it that way, without revealing his privacy. Thank you so much for doing that, and we really appreciate your support. 非常感谢. And I think it's a great gesture. Even you haven't left any message or I didn't really find you on Facebook, I still want to show my gratitude, saying again, thank you very much. You don't really have to do that in the future. Stop spending your money on us. Just come here and play with us. Stay on Facebook and let's communicate. Let's help you more. We really appreciate your support and we would love to help you more. So that's the end of today's episode. Again, a lot of thanks to all of our Facebook friends. Thank you very much for being there, giving us comment and questions and a lot of great insights. Thank you so much again, and we will try to provide you with more and more great programs to help you learn Chinese. So that's it for today. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.